In this video, I'd now like to show you how you can record payments for PPUs. So to do that, we click on record payment, which is this nice link there. And as I showed you in the previous video, you can click on active, meaning you select the status, and and then you can search for the PPU. So let's go to that Lukundo that we're working with in the previous video. We just search for him, and then the system will show us all the amounts that is supposed to pay. Now, there are a few fields that you need to fill in when you're recording a payment. The first one, of course, will be the receipt number. So assuming that you wrote the receipt in a book and you're transferring that information to the system, you can manually type the receipt number in here. However, in my case, I set this to, if you go to system, if you go to institution details there and system, notice that one of the fields here says automatically generate receipt. So if I select my school and then I click update institution, notice that this checkbox is ticked, automatically generate receipt numbers. So I want it to automatically generate receipt numbers. This is why it shows those receipt numbers in there, so then I don't have to be typing every time. But if you are using the model where you are copying from a receipt book and then typing into the system, then you have to manually type the receipt number here. Okay, so that's the first thing that you fill in, and then of course you specify the date when this was paid. So automatically the system puts a date for you, which is the current date, but you have to put the date that appears, especially if you're typing this manually, you have to put the date that appears on the receipt number there, so that you can correctly verify this information later on. And then you can specify the payment method, whether they're paying cash or check, or if they deposited or in the bank, or whatever other method that they used here. And reference is not always that you have to type this. Reference could be maybe if they paid by check and you want to put the check number there, then you can type in the check number, or there's some other information you want, so you can type something there, but this is not really mandatory. So we can say that this person paid by cash, and the last bit of information you put is how much they paid. Well, this may not be the last, but at least the most important last. So we can say, I mean, they're supposed to pay 8,000 for the whole year according to the fees that they're owing here. So then how much are they paying now? So let's say they're paying 3,000. Okay, so you can say that this person is paying. Now you can see that we made some changes. Previously, when you put that 3,000, you'd have to go into this table and start saying, oh yeah, they're paying the 3,000, we'll split it like this. For now, it doesn't really matter. What the system does is, when you put that block amount, it starts with first it will clear off all the one-off fees. So it takes off all the one-off fees. For example, this grade 7 exam fee, it will deduct from there. When it finishes all the one-off fees, then it will go to all the yearly payments. So it will remove, for example, stationery and PTA. Then whatever is left, it will apply it to the termly payments. So that's how it works. So first it does the one-off. Yeah, it does the one-off. In fact, I think it first does the PPU specific payments. So if this person had a fine or something like that, so first it will deduct that, and then it will go to the one-off payments, and then it will go to the yearly payments, and then it will go and do the termly payments. So this 3,000, we expect that this 700 should be catered for, the 100, the 50 should be catered for, and then the rest will be covered. So let's see what happens. Now, okay, maybe I'm going to do that later, the part of the discount. So for now, let me just show you. I'm going to save this. Okay, so you put in the receipt number, select the date, select the payment method and the block amount, and click save. Once you do that, the system saves, and automatically you notice that it has already cleared off some of the amounts and the list has reduced. So notice that there's no longer grade 7 amount, I mean the grade 7 exam fee here, it's not there. The stationery, PTA, they're no longer appearing because they've all been covered. And notice that now on the boarding fee, it shows that the amount payable is 900 and this person has paid 650 and they have a balance of 250. So this is coming from that 3,000 that they actually paid. If you want to view a receipt of the payment, you can click on view receipt. Now view receipt doesn't mean you're going to see the actual receipt that they paid for just now, but it will show you a list of receipts. If this person has made payments before, you can see that they made some previous payments, for example in March, okay, and that was the receipt number. So if you want to view what payments they made there in March, you can click submit and it will show you the payments that they made. So they paid school fees of 1,350, okay. And how about now? So if you select August, this shows that they've paid these fees here. They've paid this grade 7 exam fee, 700. It shows you the amount that was payable, and then it shows you how much they paid. So they paid the grade 7 exam fee, they paid the stationery fee, they paid the PTF funds 50, then they paid the transport fee of 1.5, and then towards the boarding fee of 900 they paid 650, and now they're remaining with the 250. So this is the entire receipt for this 3,000, and you can see the block amount that they paid there was 3,000. It's actually shown there, okay. And that's it. Then if you want to print, you can actually print it. You can just click that, or you can convert it to PDF if you want. There it comes out in PDF, or it actually goes to the printer. Alright, so this is how you'd view the receipt. So like I said, when you click view receipt, it doesn't automatically print out the receipt there and then, but it loads this page and you can pick any receipt. You can view the previous receipts as well. You can also view the payment history. So here you view a list of all the payments that this PPU has made. So there now it will show you one page with all the payments shown, and you can see now that this person on this date they paid school fees, and this is the receipt number, so you can verify this, and this is today's payment where they paid all this stuff, okay. So this is how this works. Now the next part we want to show is, what if this person comes and says that I want to pay again, and this time we decide to give them a discount. Right? We decide that we're going to give them a discount. So how do we do that? Now we can do that on this same person, or maybe we can try another one just as an example. Let's try a different PPU. So let's try this Lungu Abigail. So this Lungu Abigail, these are the amounts that she's supposed to pay: the stationery, the PTA, the school fees. So let's say that on the school fees, especially because this is a termly fee, let's give them a discount. So for this term 1 fee, because they've told us that they're going to pay maybe for 2 terms, right? So let's say, oh yeah, for this one we're going to slash off a 150. So we remove 150, okay, and it's not a percentage, so don't tick this. Oh, in fact, actually, before we even do that, let me remove this. Notice here that for this term 1, this person paid 1,250, so they're owing 100 kwacha. So there's actually no need to give them a discount of that 150. But let's give them a discount of 150 on the second term fee. Okay. So let's say that here we give them a discount of 150, and for the third term, let's give them a discount of 10% on the fees. So here we just type 0.1, and here we say that this is a percentage. Now I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes to show you what you can do. Obviously, maybe you'll be doing it's up to you to choose whether you'll be applying percentages or whether you'll be applying absolute amounts. Now, of course, later on we're going to improve this so that you can have things where you say, okay, all those that pay by a certain date, for instance, everybody that pays by 30th of August should get 5% discount. You know, you can do that later. For now, you have to do it for each for each individual PPU. You just have to put in the discount. So when you specify your discounts, you click save. Okay, and notice that the system automatically show you now the final amounts payable. Now this save here doesn't mean that you've saved what the PPU is paying. No, you haven't. Okay, you're saving the thing about the discounts. You have to put in the amount that the PPU is paying there, and then click save payment. So those are two different things. If you make changes, anything about discounts, click save changes here, and then if you want to save the payment, you have to click that big button there. So that means this PPU is supposed to pay 1.2. Finally, they were supposed to pay 1.3. We gave them a 150 discount. They pay that, and so forth. So now let's say that they're paying. So you can see that their total balance is 2,665. Okay, so there's no point in saying that they're paying 3,000. So let's say that they're paying 2,000 out of this amount. Okay, so we say they're paying 2,000. Just save the payment, and you can see that now the balance for this PP is 665, and everything still shows. So if you want to view the payment history again, you can view the payment history here. So it will show you all the payments that this PP has made. So they paid school fees term 1. First they were supposed to pay 1,350, then they paid a 550 and they had 800 balance, and then next time in another receipt they're supposed to pay that 800 there. You see, this is what they're showing here, amount payable 800. They paid a 500 out of it, so their balance was 300. Then at another time, which is the receipt for today, that 300 is what is showing here that they're supposed to pay. And now because they were paying at 2,000, so obviously we got 2,000. We got a 200 from that too. Oh yeah, oh no, I actually see why. It's because when doing this payment, it started with the other, yeah, with the other fees. Yeah, yeah. So that's why it's showing that. But you can see that it was actually covered. So I don't know how this was. Oh no, sorry, actually, it's me who confused myself. This is 17. If you look at the receipt number, this is not for today. This is 1759, and it was on the 29th of May. Yeah. Okay, my bad. Sorry, because I was going to be surprised. Why would you pick? You have a 2,000. Why would you pick a 200 out of a 2,000 and still have a balance? So this is actually an old receipt. It was done in May. Okay, and then today's receipt is this one, 1779. So in May they had a balance of 100 on term 1 school fees. So with this 2,000 that they paid, we cleared off that 100 here, and then we also paid the PTA. We also paid school fees term 1 100. This is actually paid. Oh yes, this is the one here. This 100 is the one that was paid here. This 100 I was pointing to is actually stationary, it's not term 1. So that 100 is this one here. Good. So then it's actually correct. It's actually correct. Of course, please, if you find any issues here, this is accounts, so some things maybe we might have missed something, but at least from this statement you can see this is correct. So don't be confused with the statement, because the statement shows at any point in time what the PPO is supposed to pay for that particular fee. So this school fees, they're supposed to pay 1,350 on this date, and they paid that, and that's why the balance. So the next time there was a payment, that 800 was brought forward. That's what they're supposed to pay. So it doesn't show the original amount to say you're supposed to pay 1,350, because that would be incorrect. That's why it shows 800 and then say they paid 500, balance 300. The next time they pay, they're supposed to pay 300, so they paid a 200, balance 100, and that 100 is what has been cleared here with this receipt. Then the remaining amount, they paid the school fees for term 2, 1,200, and they cleared it off, all of it. And then the other one, they paid towards term 3 fees. They paid 550. Now they have a balance of 665. And again, like I said, if you want to view receipt, you click on view receipt, and then you can select the receipt. So there are different receipt numbers here. So it shows you the receipt number and the dates and the times when the payments were made. So if you want to view any of those receipts for this PPU, you can just pick and say, okay, I want to view this receipt for today, and then there will be the receipt, and you can print it for them if you want. Now the interesting thing here is that even the parents for these PPUs, when those parents log in, they can actually see the same information. I think so, if I'm not mistaken. They can actually see the same information, and I'm going to show you that later in another video, how the parents can see these statements. So this is how you record fees for the PPUs. You can record the fees, and I mean, all you need to do is just to put the receipt number and the block amount and specify the dates, or you can leave the dates as they are, and the payment methods. Then if you want to give discounts, you can give discounts in terms of absolute amounts or percentages. So if it's a percentage, put the decimal point and then say this is a percentage. Alright, if you don't tick this, it means that amount will be treated as an absolute amount. Good, so that's how you record payments.